If I was to walk into the parole board with a Bible in hand, I can quote every scripture front to back. Would you consider me rehabilitated? I done took every Bible class. I stand in
This
front of
call is from the
the
North Carolina Correctional Facility.
I stand in front of the women every Wednesday, Sunday, and we
Nah, I wouldn't go off of that
okay.
because guys, women in prison, they can be manipulative,
Mm.
and they'll use that just because they know that that's what everybody's looking for. That's what they want to hear. No, that's not being rehabilitated.
But most of the a lot of
And you
classes
can,
are Christian based classes. You know what I'm saying? On the
yeah, but I'm gonna ask serious questions. I'm gonna ask questions to see how you respond. We're gonna bring up situations to see how your outlook is, how your what your outlook is, and what your insight is on these particular situations, just to see if you can think rationally or irrationally. And see, when you give individuals impromptu questions, and they have to answer these questions right then and there, without even having the time to think about the questions or whatever the case may be, then you're gonna be able to tell whether or not these individuals could think rationally or irrationally, and you're gonna be able to see it because they right here in front of you. You know, and then you're just gonna be able to know whether or not they're prepared to re-enter society. Because if you ask an individual a certain question, say for instance, like, you down on your luck, you down on your luck on getting a job, but you have an opportunity to go work at McDonald's. Would you take the opportunity to go work at McDonald's?
yeah.
Okay. If you down on your luck and you're working at McDonald's, you're working at McDonald's, but you don't have the means to pay the bills that you need to pay this month, what options are you going to use to be able to come up with the money to pay the bills?
Community resources, DSS, church and community, family, hopefully. I don't know.
That's
I,
it. You have no problem with asking family. You have no problem with asking for help. That's the whole thing. You have no problem with asking for help. That's good. That's rational thinking.
uh,
You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
But you might get an individual that be like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And eventually what they're gonna say is they don't know because they don't want to give you the question. They don't want to give you the answer that's really in the back of their mind. Especially standing in front of especially standing in front of the individuals that's present you with your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of them don't resort back to what they already know. I'm gonna go pick up a pack. I'm gonna go pick up a gun. I'm gonna go hit me a lick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sell me some drugs. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna tell you that, but they'll tell you, I don't know.
Okay. Now, go back to what you were saying about you could tell by the write-ups as well. Sometimes, because all write-ups aren't correct. We do know that. But you were like,
That's right.
that was like a valid thing you were saying though. 'Cause that's the first thing we do when we look at When we look people up, we look at what they're charged with, and I also go
That's right.
digging into their write-ups,
That's right.
including a sexual act. Can you explain why
That's
that's
right.
important too? Say, talk about that. So say that again. Run that back.
When you go to look at it, when you go to look at the write-ups, you have individuals that have multiple sex acts, inhalation charges, um, things of that sort. Because that's what one of the things. That's one of the things that we look at before we interview someone. So when you look at individuals that have these infractions, it just goes to show that, especially the sexual act, that to me that makes me think that you're a predator. It makes me think that you're a predator, and you can't control yourself. If you can't control yourself in an environment such as this right here, you can't control yourself in society as a citizen. Because there's way more out there in society than there is.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
There's way more desirable things out there in society than there is in here. So if you can't control yourself in this environment here, then what makes me think that you can control yourself out in society? And if you're doing drugs in here, then what makes me think that you're not going to go out there to do drugs too as well? When there's even a more temptation and even a more quantity of drugs out there in society and availability. So it just
You have 30 seconds remaining.
it's those things that you have to look at and pay attention to. And I know that's one of the things that the institution pay attention to as well.